Hey guys, welcome back to Let's Play Godus. I'm Nye, and it's been another day since I last played. So everybody's been apparently hard at work. I'm kind of surprised that we have so little gems that have popped out so far. Because, you know, I expect this stuff to happen kind of, again, overnight the way it usually has. So the fact that we have kind of so little progress with on the gems front, at least, is a little bit surprising. And the camera just will not work for me. There we go. Pop a couple of these. Okay, so each gem gives you... Okay, I did not know that. Gems are not created equal. Some give you 2, some give you 1. That's very interesting. Okay, so apparently this over here is a gigantic statue. So I've been told. I have no idea what it does. So what we've got to do is we've got to come up with 300 followers. Once again. In order to do that, I got to make a lot of space. In order to do that, we need faith. And lots of it. So let's see about getting some. Manitou has some for me. Wonderful. So does Triton. So does Pie Town. We got some more. We got some more settlements to go to. So we're going to go down here. Hit these up along the way. I'm kind of tempted to make more settlements. I really am. So I looked into the whole, there's Sparta. So I looked into the whole, what they're doing and making changes. And it's kind of interesting what they have in stock. So the whole book thing is going to go away. Now it's going to be a timeline. Kind of how far you've gotten as time has progressed. Which is a pretty cool idea. So they're going to do that. They said they're going to do a lot more towards, like, clicking and dragging. As opposed to the constant clicking that I'm being forced to do right now. Because they feel that's more in tune to kind of what the players want to do. Which, you know, I agree with. That's not a bad idea. Oh, wow. Check that out. That was a lot of belief right there. Okay. So what we need to do, I've been told, is continue our expansion of our realm. Which I am all for. You know, I'm ready to bang on all cylinders and get this realm moving. So we're gonna turn our camera just like so. And we're just gonna basically expand. This is gonna be another series of expansion-based episodes. Just so we can get ourselves to the Bronze Age. Because apparently that's where we want to be. That is the aim here. To get ourselves to Bronze. So let's pull ourselves open. Got ourselves a little, like, tidal pool thing going on down here. A little whirlpool dealy. Kind of cool to look at. So, the good news is we now have Cliff Sculpture level 2, which we got last time, I believe. And that's going to allow me to move these cliffs a lot faster because I'm able to move about 8 layers at once instead of a maximum of 4 layers at once. So I'm able to move things fairly well. Now, the only downside to this is it's still taking a long time to get stuff done. As you can see, I have to get everything moving layer by layer. You know, I've got to move it like this. It takes a really long time. So, supposedly, this is going to get streamlined. Oh, come on. This is going to get streamlined. Life is going to be a little bit better when it comes to this. So, basically, what my plan is going to be for these episodes, because that's like I said earlier, and, you know, and we discovered earlier, that kind of the way this works is that you're supposed to do it kind of an overtime thing. You're not supposed to be getting, you know, all this progress all at once. At least the way that I'm seeing this. The way this seems to be going for me. So what I'm basically going to do is I'm going to keep running, and I'll do episodes basically until my faith runs out. And once faith runs out, then I'll stop for the night. We'll let, you know, we'll let time pass, let things happen, and then we'll move on. Seems like a decent idea to me. Okay, so we're just going to keep on opening this up. So the first thing I want to do is I want to bridge this gap. Because I think that, you know, taking care of this gap right here, completely bridging this, is going to make my life a lot easier when it comes to really leveling out this, come on, you. When it comes to really leveling this place out. So we're just waiting patiently. I mean, it's faster than doing the double-click method, I'll tell you that much. Much, much faster. Okay, so we are now starting to get ourselves some, plots are actually showing up now, which is awesome. So we're going to continue pulling out land. It's like pulling teeth. So yeah, this is something I really hope that they fix. This whole, you know, land separation thing. What just happened? Something happened. I'm not quite sure what, but something happened. Okay. Another thing that they said they were going to do, which I'm really looking forward to, is they said they're going to be focusing a lot more on your followers, and especially making it so followers actually do something. Apparently, I'm not the only player that expected my followers would do more than just kind of stand around and poke at each other. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what they can do for that, to make the followers a little bit more of an integral part of the game, as opposed to the kind of, you know, resource that they are right now. Because, you know, I have to get, what is it, 2,100 followers, but apart from the fact that I'll then have 2,100 followers, those 2,100 followers don't really do anything for me. They just kind of, they exist, and that's about it. Like, that's all they do. They don't give me any bonus. If I'm going into combat, you know, they're there, but again, it's a very numbers game-based thing. They don't really do much other than kind of sit there. They might punch each other a couple times, but that's kind of all they do. And that feels, you know, I'm not sure what that feels like. That doesn't feel like a good design for a video game. To be, you know, just basically have a living number there. If I wanted a living number, I would go to Sesame Street Counts Cooking Carnival or something like that, you know? Counts Counting Carnival, something like that. You know what I mean. So I don't really want to do that. I will say, I am severely looking forward to the next Mount of the Gods competition I go to. Now that I have that meteor power, I'm going to be, you know, busting some heads in there. I like that the game remembers that we burned this place. You'll notice that all the trees are still very burned, very destroyed. And, you know, it's kind of terrible for me to say that I like that, but I think it's, partially I love persistent worlds. They are so cool. They reward the player so much for doing cool stuff. And so I get to feel good, you know, going, hey, well, I mean, for a given definition to feel good, but, you know, I get to go, hey, you know, I did that. That was my impact on this world that made that happen. And that may be a mistake, you know, I may never want to do that again. But, you know, that was me, that was my decision. And I love games that do that, that make those decisions have a lasting impression, even if it is something so simple as this area no longer has living trees. Everything's dead. Just a cool little thing. So we're just filling in the gaps here. We are once more terraforming this world to be to our liking. And in this case, our liking is as flat as can possibly be. So that way our followers can kind of build up, you know, and do their thing. We are going to focus on kind of getting these gems here because I want to make some more settlements. Because I'm coming to the opinion right now that settlements are kind of more important to me than gems are right now. I kind of imagine that we're going to be able to get more gems later on, and that anything I need gems for is going to be something that's a later on type of thing anyways. So, yeah, that's kind of where I'm sitting at right now. So, expect me to set up another settlement or two in the very near future, as soon as I find a good location that would allow me to have, you know, a lot of manors or whatever it is that we're getting. A lot of farmhouses, I believe, is the top thing right now. Let's close that up. You'll notice that we are getting a lot of really high-quality plots right now as we kind of drag all of this along. The only thing I don't like is that a lot of our episodes lately have been kind of purely this. We haven't been making a lot of progress. We're not exactly getting a lot of followers because I've kind of filled in all the truly flat areas of the world with my followers already. So now I have to kind of fill it in on my own terms and make sure that everything is open. So I've got to, you know, fill in canyons, things like that, which all of that takes an extraordinary long amount of time. I've been kind of at it for about 9 minutes and 22 seconds so far. And someone just died, apparently. I've kind of been at it for a while so far this episode, and if you'll notice, we haven't gained really a single follower. In fact, I think we lost one or two. You know, we really got to see about getting that done. Make sure that we're actually getting some rewards here. That's kind of interesting. We have a scorch mark to our left, which I believe is actually the indication of swampland. That swampland wasn't there before I dropped the meteorite earlier. So, it's kind of curious. Apparently, meteorites can create swampland out of normal land. I don't know if that's intended or if it was just the idea of, well, we have a scorch mark already in the game, so let's use it for, you know, something that fits. But, you know, there it is. I'm seeing all these things I can't have. There's an altar above me to the north. You can kind of see the beacon coming from it right now. So that's up there, but I have to actually... I got to get access to that, which is not going to be the easiest thing in the world right now. Got to get my men kind of through this little valley that I'm creating right now first before I'm going to be able to access that. It's going to take a little while. You know, we got to fill all of this in, and then I've got to start filling in those valleys, and then I'm going to start leveling off all this land. That's going to take a fair amount of time, so I don't think we're going to be getting there, you know, this episode or the next, frankly. Okay. So this stuff's filling in, so this should give us a very large area to work with. And then we can continue, you know, filling in and cutting down. I've been filling in mostly. I haven't been getting rid of most of the mountains yet. I've just been kind of opening up. We did just get a 5 plot just now. Just gained access to that, which is awesome. Let's kill that. Well, it's already dead for one, but gotta kind of fill this stuff in. I like that the trees go away when you make these holes, but the rocks are here to stay. You know, you gotta take out the rocks, but the trees will just freaking vanish on you. It's kind of it's a comment on permanence, I guess, permanence of life. The rocks may not be alive, but they're not going anywhere. The trees, on the other hand, I mean, they're dead now. We burned them to death. But, you know, they are not exactly sticking around when you cover them with rocks. The rocks, on the other hand, will apparently rise above and do their own thing. Get rid of you. So you can see we're making a lot of plots here. We have a lot of space to work with. And I think that once I get this going, we're going to gain a ton of followers from all of this. Which is good news. And, of course, we're getting a lot of space. We're heading towards the next land expansion, which I've been told is very important to us. So I'm going to take that fellow's word for it. Okay. So now I must rotate my camera because we're going to start working over in this direction. Nope. Camera, you're going to work with me. So let's go and expand our... No. God damn, I hate that. I don't know why that's even an option. I don't know why it's even an option to stretch so far that it rebounds. That does not seem like the best idea. Okay. And these guys built to the very edge of this cliff. I kind of feel bad for, you know, their property values, especially if there happened to be, like, say, an earthquake, which is... I looked at the list. That's a god power right there, earthquake. So if that happened, you know, those guys would be just a little bit screwed. So we're going to do them a favor, and we're going to make sure they're not on the edge of that cliff anymore. Now, we do have a problem. It looks like this, let's go ahead and pop that. It looks like this altar is deep underground, so I have to find some way to gain access to it. While still, of course, allowing people down into it, but also giving myself room for all of these houses that I intend to build. Not sure exactly how easy that's going to be. Trying to see exactly where this altar is, because it looks, it's, you know, you can see the beam of light coming from it, but I can't tell if that's even in my realm right now. It's kind of hard to say. Okay, let's dig a little bit. Okay, it might be just, like, you can see where the light is. This thing might be just within my realm. Come on, let's get in there. Wow, we gotta go. Look how deep we have to go just to reach this thing. We haven't even seen the tip of it yet. Wait, there we go. Okay, so now we gotta actually pull everything back and get in on this thing. Okay, so there it is. Whoop, no. We want to raise it up just a little bit. Okay, now that nope, there's apparently a very definite level that it sits on, and it cannot go any higher than that. Which I'm not sure that I like. mean, what that ends up meaning is that I have to dig that deep. I cannot raise it for any reason, which just makes my life a little bit harder. And I don't need my life to be any harder. My life's already hard enough, thank you. Okay. I'm going to continue filling in this hole. I'm going to go for a little bit longer. We'll make these episodes a little bit longer than normal just because there's, you know, we want to get this stuff out of the way. We don't want this to have to be, you know, a running theme that we're going to have episode upon episode upon episode where we're doing very little. I have definitely lost a couple followers. I imagine most of those guys were working on the gem mine that we have back there. Hopefully, we'll be able to get those guys back very soon as I open up these areas. We got another level 2, which is fantastic. I would like to see another level 5 show its face. The level 5 is the one that I want. You know, level 2 is all well and good, but I want to see level 5 plots showing up. And I want to see them showing up with a lot more regularity than they do now. We need those units. We need those followers. That's the thing. I think a follower is just a standard unit. They're no better than infantrymen, you know? They're just kind of, they're there. They're not special. They don't do anything. I need my followers to do something, you know? They're my followers. All of my power comes from them. I need them to be more than just belief fountains. Next time you go to church, make sure to call your fellow churchgoers belief fountains and see what happens. I'm kind of curious. Bring back your stories to me. I want to know. If it goes terribly, though, remember, I was not involved. Let's get rid of the... Nope. Get rid of that. I don't want that. Okay. So we have almost closed off this little lagoon here. This little cliff diving area that we seem to have created on accident. Don't get used to being there, plots. You're going to be going away. Almost done. Just a little bit more. Okay, all that got closed up. And now we're going to close this up, and we should be ready to start filling this with actual people. So we might need to consider making this area our next settlement, because we're going to have a lot of people here. Like, this is going to be a very large amount of houses we're about to get. Several of them are going to be level 5s. So this could definitely be worth doing. There's level 2 right there. Come on. I swear they put a microphone next to some rubber bands to make some of these sounds. They sound so goofy. I'm all for goofy sound, but maybe not my video games. And thud. Oh, there's level 5. That's exactly what I want to see right now. Level 5s are fantastic. There's another level 4. We're getting there. That will close up, and that'll give me a little bit more room there. Just kind of trying to, you know, conservation of motion, I think, is what I'm going for. As little pull as possible to save as much belief as possible. Okay. There's another level 5, so I have at least 2 level 5s available to me. And hopefully there'll be more in the near future. Okay, so what I have to do now, just before we leave, is I have to somehow find a way. Okay, this is a good natural step here. So let's find a way to make another set of natural steps into this area that our followers can use to get at that shrine. That's the plan here. So let's kind of reason this out. So what I'm going to want to do is I want to have... Let's have this drop off to here. Okay, so we're going to have... That's going to be step 1. Okay, so let's back this up. That'll be... Maybe I can do that. Maybe that can be step 2. We'll see. There's step 3. There's step 4. So we got to go in pretty deep here in order to make this work. Step 5. Come on. There's step 6. But I'm not really satisfied with how this is turning out because it doesn't really... My followers, they need room to move, and I don't really have that. Luckily, they don't have to go too much deeper, but I got to kind of open this back up a little bit to give them room to get down in here because I got to build a couple more steps. That one to back up. There we go. Almost there. And I think that should work. Would that get them? Okay. So next last thing we're going to do is we're going to place a totem right there. And I'm just going to get 4 followers and see if they can actually get into there. And then we'll be finishing off this episode. That should create a good series of steps for those guys to go down, and they can start getting to work on that shrine there. Or at least that is my hope. So this guy is apparently the world's greatest runner badass the world has ever seen. So is he going to be able to get down there? Is that a thing he can do? Well, he's descending with no problems so far. Yes, good. Wonderful. Excellent. Can he get all the way to the shrine? He can, and he is constructing it. Okay, we did it. So we have just made a bunch of houses. We got a bunch of plots here. I'm not ready to start filling them in yet, though, because we have a lot to go. I have to work on this left-hand side, and we're going to be getting rid of a lot of these cliffs you see here in favor of more plots. So we got a lot of work to go, so we can make this another huge and amazing settlement. But hopefully that will end up being, you know, kind of a feather in my cap here. We have yet another 5 plot. I don't know how the design for the plots goes when it decides what has priority over what. But whoa, what the hell just happened? This area was clear. Where did all these... Okay, you know what? I think that's an indication that we need to end this episode. So I'm going to see you guys next time. As usual, if you have a better idea of how to play than I do, and I'm sure that you do, leave a message in the comments and tell me what I should do better. Like, why all of a sudden all of this crap just spawned in the middle of my work zone. And if you like what I'm doing, please hit like so other people can find me too. And if you want to see more, hit the subscribe button so that way you can see more of this as I do upload a video of Godus just about every single day. I will see you guys next time.